it ain't honorable. It ain't of God, of nothing that you did.
My show had value, and
no, it didn't.
That what I was doing had value, and you know, I'm a church girl too, and
no, you not. This video is brought to you by Masa Chips, brought to you by Masa Chips. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, these chips are as good as you thought that they were. I know you've seen it all over the internet. I was a skeptic at first. I said, man, they can't make no chips that taste good, that's healthy. It ain't happening. Then my wife started buying. I mean, we probably bought like $600 worth of these chips, and she would just eat them and eat them, and I tried them for one time, and I was hating at first. I ain't gonna even lie. I said, man, them chips ain't really that good. Oh my God, Cabanero, I can't stop eating them. I literally ate this bag while we were prepping for this advertisement. I literally ate through this whole bag. It's just crumbs in here. But let me tell you why it's so important to have a chip that's quality like Masa Chips. There's only 3 ingredients: organic, nixtamalized corn, grass-fed and finished beef tallow, and Redmond salt. That's it. No pesticides, none of these fake ingredients, none of the toxins. And if you don't know what nixtamalization is, it's a traditional way of preparing tortillas by soaking them in alkaline solution, which was invented by the Aztecs. Also, we know how dense of a food, a nutritional food, beef tallow is. I don't know how they got away from cooking with beef tallow. Now I only eat things that are cooked with beef tallow and not none of that fake stuff. Beef tallow also is rich with vitamin A, D, K, and E. So you can have a healthy choice and you can binge out, man. I binge out on this all the time. They're incredibly good, and I'm excited to share with you how to get you some Masa Chips for yourself. So all you got to do is go to masachips.com/Tatum. We'll put the link in the description section. Use code Tatum to get 20% off, and I guarantee you, you will not be disappointed. This is my favorite. I just tried this one, and it tastes like candy, and you can't go wrong with the blue. Get your Masa Chips today. Y'all know today is my birthday. I'm lying. It ain't my birthday. But I'm happy because Joy Reid ain't got a show no more. She had no business being as silly as she was, or she would have had a show. Am I happy for her? Am I happy that they kicked off the show? Kind of, sort of. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's negative that I'm happy that she ain't got a show because her show is trash. It's just the way it works. When you don't produce for the network, you don't have a show no more. And when you lying with that fake wig you have on, looking like a milk dud with a mop on your head, then this is what happened to you. All that talk about Donald Trump, all that talk about Trump supporters, this what you get. This is what you get. All right, now enough of that. Let's go down. There's a video of a compilation of how crazy she was, and this is why she lost her job. Don't give me the, oh, some fool came on TV the other day and said, the only reason why all these people are losing their jobs is because they bending the knee to Donald Trump. No, probably the only reason they had their job because y'all was pushing DEI and they needed black folks to have shows on TV trying to fake equity and inclusion, and now they don't have to abide by that stuff. They don't get a negative credit score as a business because they're not having diversity, inclusion, and delusion, and they're saying, look, it's not bringing in no money. Nobody's watching you be deranged. It's a new day in America. Y'all still hating on Trump. It's over. He won. You better get in line or you get left behind. But this is why she lost her show. Don't let nobody tell you nothing different. Don't let nobody argue with nothing different. This is just a compilation of a few reasons why this hag don't have a show no more. Roll the clip.
In America, there's a thing about both white vigilantism and white tears, particularly male white tears. Really white tears in general, because that's what Karens are, right? They Karen out, and then as soon as they get caught, it's like, green waterworks. White men can get away with that too. And it has the same effect. Even as the right tries to politicize the idea that masculinity is being robbed from American men by multiculturalism and wokeism, they still want to be able to have their tears.
Black voters came through for Kamala Harris. White women voters did not. That is what it appears happened in that state, is that if you can't flip enough white women, and we've talked about this on this set numerous times, is that you have a state where you've got a 6-week abortion or a 12-week abortion. I think theirs might be 12 weeks. Yep. But it's a state where women lost their reproductive rights, where there was a very heavy push to get women to focus on not putting in place, re-electing, putting back into the White House the person who was responsible for taking those rights away and restoring them. But that message obviously was not enough to get enough white women to vote for Vice President Harris, a fellow woman. This will be the second opportunity that white women in this country have to change the way that they interact with the patriarchy. And, you know, God bless Shannon Watts, who has tried to have that conversation. But if people aren't receptive to it, and if people vote more, you know, party line or more on race than on gender and on protecting their gender, there's really not much more that you can do but tell people what the risks are and leave it to them to do the right thing. Steph.
People didn't have it.
Hey, I just want to give some free advice to the white progressives, particularly white progressive women who may be thinking about marching against the Trump victory, maybe putting back on the P-word hats and doing that thing. I would just say probably don't send any of those invites to any black women you know. I'm just going to tell you right now, they're not coming. I'm pretty sure black women have resigned from the Save America Coalition, Save Democracy Coalition, and definitely the Save the Democratic Party Coalition. I think that's probably not happening. I would just keep those invites maybe among your own friends because I don't think they're coming. But yeah, I think black women are now on the Save Black Women, Prioritize Black Men, and prioritize black communities, black businesses, and that. And, you know, the black spaces, but Save America, Save the Democratic Party. Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
Now, hold on. There's more. Pause it real quick. There's more. But I just want you to just so far, so far, so good, huh? So far, can't you see why somebody like this would not have good ratings? I'm not saying you got to counsel nobody for the stuff they say. You can say whatever you want. This is America. You can not like white people all you want, which is exactly what she is. She's a racist. You can say racist stuff all you want. Now, people ain't going to watch your show, though, and it's not going to get good ratings. You don't have any substance to what you're saying. But there's more. Roll it.
Thanksgiving, the day we gather with friends and family to enjoy turkey, stuffing, mashed potatoes, and pumpkin pie. We throw on the game, catch up on our lives, and then discuss, or quite possibly argue, about religion and politics. For millions of Americans, it's a day of cherished traditions. And as Americans, we certainly value those traditions. But it's also important to unpack the myth of Thanksgiving. It is a holiday riddled with historical inaccuracies, built on this myth that the indigenous welcomed their colonizers with open arms and ears of corn, a simplistic fairy tale interpretation of a 1621 encounter between indigenous tribes and English settlers that erases the genocide that followed. It's the truth Republicans want banned from our textbooks, because here's the secret they want so desperately to keep. We are a country founded on violence. Our birth was violent. In 1619, a ship with more than 20 enslaved Africans landed in Virginia, ushering in 2 centuries of American slavery that left millions in chains or dead. And when those humans in bondage were finally free, a terrorist organization that was a card-carrying member of polite society, the Ku Klux Klan, picked up where the Civil War ended, using violence to maintain white supremacy. The Klan and its ilk are still active, and as Americans, we continue to choose violence. We are a country that chooses violence over and over again. There is no facet of American society that is untouched by it, as all the recent headlines remind us. These are the people who say the undocumented, who they get to call illegal immigrants, like the Pilgrims had permission to come here, have to suffer the consequences of their actions, right? They made the choice to overstay their visas or come into our country illegally, so if they get deported, consequences. But you right-wingers shouldn't have to suffer the consequences of your votes? You don't want to be around me because I voted for fascism. No fair. I'm coughing on you with COVID, but you want me to wear a mask for your safety? No fair. My body, my choice. Well, here's an alternative thought. Make your own dinner, MAGA. Make your own sandwiches. Wipe your own tears. Troll amongst yourselves with Elon and leave us alone. You got your heart's desire, the president you dreamed of, and worship instead of Jesus. And this time, you didn't even have to storm the Capitol, smash the windows, or try to kill police officers or issue death threats to poll workers. See? You did it just by voting this time. Congrats. You got your way. And he even got away with breaking the law. Yay. But if you expect the 73 million who voted for the prosecutor, not the felon, and particularly the 92% of black women who voted for Kamala to give you a cookie for your vote, a trophy, a hug, a high five, you might be asking too much. If we want to eat with you, we will. But if we just want some peace over the holidays and we don't want to put up with your trolling while we eat our tofurkey, get over it. Stop acting like we owe you. And for God's sakes, stop whining. It's embarrassing. Our Thanksgiving, our choice.
Oh, she crying. I can see the tears in her eyes. Now, I'm not trying to be mean to the milk dud. to the racist milk dud. I'm not trying to be mean to the milk dud. But what I will say is that all that stuff you've been talking about MAGA, I mean, you've been hurtful in the things that you've been saying about people that support Trump, about black folks that support Trump. You've been lying about Donald Trump. You've been lying about his convictions. You've been lying about Joe Biden. You've been lying about COVID. You've been lying and lying and lying and lying. So now you're crying, I don't care. Wrote a film.
My show had value. And
No, it didn't.
that what I was doing had value. And in the end, I'm sorry, I try not to cry on TV. And I think this is kind of like me on TV, so I apologize. And then it mattered. I see Karen is there, and she's been texting me as well. And so what I will just say is that in the end, thank you. Where I land is that the moment of guilt that I felt, that I went hard on so many issues, whether it was the Black Lives Matter issues of a young baby or a mom or a dad that was killed, or when we opened up people's eyes to the fact that Asian Americans were being targeted and not just black folks, or went hard for immigrants who've done nothing but come to this country like my parents did and try to make a life and defended them. Or whether we've talked about what the president is doing that is subversive to the Constitution, that is injurious to our liberty, defending books that people find inconvenient, that Nicole Hannah-Jones put into our spirit, that we need to understand 1619 as the real founding of this country, whether it's talking about any of these issues, and yes, whether it's talking about Gaza, and the fact that we as the American people have a right to object, to little babies being bombed. And where I come down on that is I'm not sorry. I am not sorry that I stood up for those things, because those things are of God. And I'm a church girl too, and those are the things that I was taught were of God. And so I'm not sorry. I'm just proud of my show.
Look, let me just say this. I gotta say it. Allegedly, I looked it up online. JOY REID making $3 million a year. Y'all feel sorry for her? She making $3 million a year. She is a top 1% earner. And she get on TV every day and talk about the millionaires and talk about people with money. And she a top earner. She a top 1% earner in the country. And her show is trash. She was lying on people. It ain't got nothing to do with God, you being an anti-Semite. It has nothing to do with God. You hate every white person and you think white people are scumbags because the very nature of their skin color. It ain't of God that you push the Black Lives Matter agenda and them 3 lesbians done robbed everybody of $90 million. Don't know where it's at and ain't done nothing for black people. It ain't honorable. It ain't of God, of nothing that you did. All right. You ain't got to worry about her no more. All right. So the readout will air its final episode this week, concluding a 5-year run. The replacement is the 7 p.m. time slot, will be filled by a new panel show featuring co-host Elisa Menendez, Michael Steele, who's a hag. He was on TV crying the other day about something stupid. And Simone Sanders. I guess they're going to have a panel with those few individuals, which is going to be another woke panel. I don't know who Alicia Menendez is. I think Michael Steele is black and Simone Sanders is black. So I would argue that Alicia Menendez is a Mexican. They ain't going to have no white people on this show. Nothing but minorities. And what are they going to talk about? The same old stupidity that we've seen so far.
This is the best we can do, folks. This is what we have to offer. It's what our system produces. Garbage in, garbage out.
Following the 2024 election, the readout experienced a significant drop in viewership, with reports indicating a loss of nearly half of its audience by December. You know why that happened? Because they were going and lamenting time and time again that Donald Trump was Hitler. Donald Trump is terrible. MAGA is terrible. MAGA is going to lose. There's no crisis at the border. The economy is great. Joe Biden is wonderful. Kamala Harris is going to win in a landslide. She's black women power. They said all this, and then when they lost, people were like, you know what? We have no hope, because y'all had us believing all these lies, and it end up not materializing. So I'm excited about her leaving. I think many people are, because I think it's vindication for having a sorry show. Now, we put it out there that the show is sorry, but some of these networks are going to have to come to the realization that it ain't making money. And all of your favorite shows or TV networks that propagate DEI and propagate socialism and act like everybody should be equal. Hey, why don't you just give her a show for free? Why the her show got to make money, right? Capitalism is bad. Yeah, because without money, you're going to go broke. So we know why they held on as long as they did. But Joy Reid, I see you on the other side, buddy.